Right.
We're live! Wow!
We're live. This is your first time going live, right?
Yes, this is my first time.
Yeah. Hello everyone. We're here at Dinard, France, and we just came here to renew our visa. My visa, actually. But by the way, I have a guest here. This is my good friend Ken. If you are watching or following my vlogs, he's one of my
I'm probably like one of
buddies.
his what?
Trouble
Partner.
buddies, yes. We're like with Jeff, but he hasn't traveled with Brian and GK. So
No, no,
you
no,
haven't
no,
you haven't traveled.
no.
But yeah, we are here at Dinard, France, to just chill out. This is just a 3 days chill,
Yeah, chill.
isn't it?
Actually,
We just requested like how many days?
Actually, it's only 4 days. 3 nights, 4 days actually, because what
Yeah.
our purpose is here is to go to Mont Saint Michel.
Mont Saint Michel. Yeah, we went to Mont Saint Michel a while
If you know
ago.
about Mont Saint Michel,
Yeah.
you will know where.
Actually, it's
very near
just really
London.
easy to travel from London to other parts of Europe because aside from the fact that it has cheaper flight offers, you can go by train or
Bus, or even walk actually. You can
walk
decide if you want.
from London.
I know that.
No, I was talking about.
Sorry.
No, I was talking.
I was thinking about Dinard and the neighboring
No,
towns.
I was talking about
Ay, sorry.
traveling from London to other
yeah.
parts of
It's
Europe.
like that.
Yeah, but you cannot.
You can hitchhike.
I know.
You might probably be hiking for like 1 year going to France.
You cannot go walking. But anyway, my friend here is a well-traveled person. I'm so inspired by his life. How many countries have you traveled?
48 countries in total.
Oh my God,
In the last 4 years.
48 countries.
It's not
in-
even like half, to be honest. I still want more.
So do you have like goal in
Yes.
how many countries would you
all countries? I wanted all 198 countries
really
actually.
like but with a 45
48.
48 countries.
counter.
Um
It's gonna be 49 very soon in October
Yeah.
because I'll be going to Vatican.
what was the first country did you visit or
the first country I visited was way back in 2012, and it's Singapore. Singapore was my first country.
Oh yeah, because we were still back there in the
back there in
Philippines.
the Philippines. So
The
I've
story
been to
was because
Singapore. I was helping our good friend Mark. He's
Yeah.
down in Australia. Say hi to Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was helping him with his thesis, and then instead of paying me with
He
cash or
bribed you
money,
actually.
yeah, he bribed me.
He
And
bribed
then
you.
His
Okay.
gift for me is a travel to Singapore and
Yeah.
Indonesia and parts of.
So that was the first time
So
you
3 countries.
Yeah, actually that was the first time going abroad, and it was so real. I think
Yeah.
it's just like really like a dream for you to go out, like because we were like we were born and raised in southern part of the Philippines or
You're outside the
Mindanao,
city, if you know
and
about
we're not that
the
like
city.
well off to travel abroad like other
Exactly.
kids there, but going abroad or for the first time you going abroad, it's really like a dream, isn't it?
Yes,
And then
exactly.
the next country was
The next country was Hong Kong.
Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong and Macau is my next country.
And with that,
With my girlfriend, with Al.
no, is it not the Indonesia?
I've been to Indonesia with Mark. When we went to Singapore, we went to Indonesia and we went also to Malaysia because we went to Legoland in Malaysia.
Oh my gosh.
So we went to also to Batam Island in Indonesia, and
See?
then we went to mainly in Singapore. And
Yeah.
then the next one was in Hong Kong and Macau.
But by the way, we're both nurses. We
Yes.
graduated from the same school, Notre Dame, the youngest university back there in General Santos City. And then we graduated. We
We went together with for our
same
master's degree. And-
all of our bunch of our friend guys.
But I
there.
went first abroad because I went to Australia the first time.
So he went to Australia for
After
the
Hong
first
Kong
time.
and Macau, I went to Australia for my training as a nurse. So he was left in the Philippines.
Yeah, he
and
went
then I
bridging
back.
actually.
Bridging program.
He went bridging program there in Australia. But apparently there is really like God moves in mysterious ways.
Ways.
It's not really if Australia is not really for you, it's not gonna be really
But
for
good
you.
thing because I've been to Sydney, I saw a lot of places in Australia and another country as well. It's my sixth country in the
So
Commonwealth.
that was the sixth country,
That
and
was
then
my
the
sixth
next
country.
after Australia,
After
you
Australia, I
went
went to UK.
to UK.
So,
That's
yeah.
for work actually.
That's for work,
And that was, I
that's
think,
the start of
yeah,
everything.
the
That's
stepping
where,
stone for you
yeah.
to like explore
It's
Europe.
my gateway to the world.
Now,
as I would say.
we're talking about because we're already here in the UK, and there are a lot of nurses, and not only nurses, Filipinos and not non-Filipinos. They were asking us like,
Do we
how
travel
are
cheap?
how are we able to travel to Europe, or like some of the comments they are even asking like,
Are you still working?
are you still working?
Are you
Or,
working
what-
part time?
Really?
Are you just traveling?
Yeah.
I
Are you
receive a lot
even
of comments,
saving?
yeah.
Are you even saving?
I receive
So,
a lot of comments, and a lot of my good friends, and even my relatives are asking, "Are you still working?"
Yeah.
They would always ask my mother and father, and they would always ask, "Oh, is your son still working in UK? He's always like traveling every now and then. How many annual leaves do you have? How many vacation leaves do you have?
Yeah.
Are you still full time?"
Yeah,
A lot
those
of
are a lot
questions.
of questions being thrown at us. Like,
Yeah.
how do you make these travels while you're working in the UK? So that
I
is
can
the reason.
I can give you a lot of tips here
That is
because I've
one
always been
of
traveling like every month.
Yeah, that is one of
Mostly.
the reason why I went live, because this is a rare opportunity that I get to have a time with my good friend here, Kenneth, because he's the best person, I think, closest to me to discuss about traveling, because we really like, both of us really like traveling, but he traveled more because he went ahead,
Yeah.
and he's more of an
Yeah, I've
explorer.
just been to like South America.
Yeah.
Just for the
Oh,
record.
yeah, but like, last week
I
he's
was in
just
Brazil, Peru, and Bolivia. I was in South America for like 3 weeks. So that was so far and by far my biggest travel.
okay.
So
Okay,
like 3 weeks.
let's
Anyway.
discuss it one by one. So
I'll just
what
promote my
was-
channel, so don't
Yeah.
forget to subscribe to my channel. I've got also my YouTube channel, so it's
Yeah.
more or less all about travels in there. It can be your adventures, like IT. Then my name is Ken, KenBe Adventures. So all in like one word.
And even
Or you
his
can follow me
Instagram.
Instagram. I'm very active in Instagram, so I can give you tips.
Check
in there.
his Instagram,
Yeah,
because
it's always updated.
yeah, there's a lot of tips that you can get from there, and at the same time you can see the countries he's been.
Mm.
And it's really crazy, because some of these countries are not expectingly like beautiful. Some are just so, because most of us go to the countries who are like that, which are mainstream countries, who are just
So
the famous
generally, what
ones.
is your favorite? What is your like really goal? Like big, because for me, I had like I'm crazy about small countries. So
No,
for your information, I'm really crazy with small
after
countries.
we've been to Serbia,
Like
I think
small countries.
it opened my mind that I would like to go to a country not because it's just beautiful, but I would like to experience the culture at the same
Yeah.
time, learn how people
that's
and the
the most
country
important
itself
thing.
and the country
That's
itself.
the
So
most
it's
important
it's
thing.
not just like because it has good places to go to or food, but it's more of the general. But I would like to go to these not really common countries, because
Yes.
they make me.
That's the thing, yeah.
That's really exciting for me. But anyway, so
Okay,
as the title says, how to travel
Travel
cheap.
cheap.
So how to travel cheap.
Okay. You can call me
Okay.
questions and I can answer.
First question is, how do we, us Filipinos, because we are non EU members, of course, and we don't usually, and we have limited countries that we can travel from with the use of our passport.
We have for your information, we have a very weak passport.
We
We're not
have
even like
yes.
one of the top 10 strongest passports. We have really,
I
really
think
weak
it's just
passport
limited.
because
But anyway,
very limited.
Yeah, but anyway,
countries.
so
But
from UK, how do you apply a European visa? That's usually
Or like
the
a
first
Schengen
question.
visa, maybe.
Yeah, you can
okay,
answer.
for a Schengen visa, if you're like holding a non-EU passport, like for us, like Filipinos, Philippine passport is, as I said, is one of the weakest passports. So it would be very advantageous for you to have a Schengen visa because Schengen visa.
Is it Schengen or Schengen?
Schengen or Schengen visa.
Whatever you call
Schengen
it.
visa, okay, so it covers mostly all the European countries
Oh,
and all
my-
other member
what's
states.
happening? Sorry for the
Sorry.
noise, because our hotel right now here in Dinar is just across the
The
street.
road.
But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, so back to the
Schengen visa.
Schengen visa. So okay, so most of the European countries you can cross with the use of your Schengen visa. So once you've got the Schengen visa, it's very advantageous for you to like roam around Europe, anywhere you like, whichever countries you like.
So what's
down
gonna be
here.
the first step for them
Okay,
to
the first step for them to have is First, you have to have a job here. It will be so easy for you. If you secure like a full-time job
Yeah.
here, it will be so easy because you don't need to have a proof of your land title, car, or anything like even bank statements,
Mhm.
which is very difficult when you are in the Philippines if you apply for a Schengen visa
Yeah,
because
because
you have to
one
have a
of
business, you have to have a lot, you have to have loads of money. Maybe 200,000 pesos should be in your bank account. But here in the UK or here in Europe, if you've got like full-time job, it's so easy because you just need to request for what? Certificate of employment. That's the thing that you
your
have to
your
like request.
COE.
3 months pay slip. It's
So
so
that
easy.
means you have to be employed
I
for
know.
at least 3 months because you can't have 3 months payslip
Payslip,
without
yeah.
the 3 months work. So
3 months pay slip.
COE or Certificate of
Employment, which you
Employment.
can request from your human resource
Yeah.
officer. Okay, very
Three
easy.
three
3 months
months
pay slip.
payslip. What else?
3 months of your bank statement. It's easy because you're earning a salary, so it wouldn't be
Or the
so difficult for
latest
you.
3 months of your
Yeah,
bank
the
transactions.
first three, yeah, the latest
So-
3 months of your bank
So
transactions.
it's just easy. You just have to go to your
Very
bank or
easy.
even email them or even call them. There are online banking, but for me, I usually go to the bank itself and then present my card because it's easier. They will just print it out
So easy.
without fee. Okay.
So that's the main three things, the top three things that you should have or you should prepare.
And now,
And now the next will just follow because you just need your passport, your residence permit card, your one by one photo. I know they've got specifications.
No, it's
for
not
the
one by
photo.
one.
It's not like one by one, but it's like
It's a
passport size.
passport
With
size
white
visa.
background. Anyway, you can check that one
Online on the
Online. It's
website
easy.
because each country has its own like immigration what do you call that policies, so check them out. But usually applying Schengen visa, it's almost just the same. It's almost just the
And-
same in each and every country.
And another one as well is your round trip ticket where you
Yeah.
wanted to go, the first destination.
Right, so the
Yes.
question is, do we need to pre-book our destination ticket?
Yes, definitely. If you are applying for a Schengen visa, they don't accept for any reserved tickets only. They wanted a book ticket. So, as I said, I will stress it, book ticket as well as booked accommodation. So and I got like a trick for the accommodation as well.
Okay.
But I'm gonna share it later because you can just have a reserved. You can just reserve like in bookings.com. You can reserve a accommodation.
Yeah,
Although
just-
you don't have to like really stay there, but it's just like a dummy ticket for your application. But you can just cancel it anytime once you receive your visa. So that is like another area of concern. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And then what else?
Pre-book ticket,
And then
hotel-
travel insurance. Travel insurance says
yeah.
mytravelvisa.com. That's always my to-go company when I request for travel visa. I've been requesting on that online in the last 3 years.
My travel, what is
Schengen
it?
visa. mytravelvisa.com.
Or it is easy for you to request your banks because they usually
Yes, it's easy.
offer travel insurances.
Mhm.
Or even if you are working in a private company, they usually offer private like insurances together with your benefits. So you might be able to get some of it. You don't have to be that extravagant to get some insurances because even if you apply from TLS, like say from in the case of France or even the immigration what do you call that offices, they offer travel insurances, so you don't have to worry about travel insurance as long as you will be covered from the first day you are outside the country up until you're back. Okay.
So that's the thing. So for that question, how to secure a Schengen visa, as I said, there's like top three things in there, and then the rest will just follow. So very, very important. You've got to have a full-time
Okay, let's
job here.
recall that one. First one was
Full-time job, you have to have it because you need your certificate of employment.
Uh-huh.
Your second is bank statement.
Bank statement.
For the last 3 months, and then payslip for the last 3 months. This is the most important thing. And then
Payslip.
the rest will just follow. You have to have your what? Travel
Updated passport.
updated passport, your residence card.
your BRP.
Yeah, your travel visa, which is very important. Book tickets as well as
Mhm.
your booked accommodation. If you got all of this, you're just checking.
Now the question was, let's
Perfect.
say, how about if I would like to cross from one country to another? So what would
Okay.
I prepare?
So this is the thing for that. So take for example, if you wanted to apply for, because the first thing that you have to think is which country you wanted to apply. So as per experience, the most lenient country that you can apply for a Schengen visa
Is
is
France.
France. So France normally grants you like 6 to 9 months on the first or initial application. So
Yeah,
once
I got mine just recently, 2 years.
Mine is 3 years, so I applied for 4 times already in France, and for the fourth time they gave me like 3 years of validity of visa, which I can use anywhere. So
Yeah.
the first thing is once you apply for a Schengen visa, make sure that the first country of entrance, or the first country
Of entry.
you have to come to, is the country where you need to apply. So once you apply for France, you need to go to France first. Once you apply for what, Norway, you take for instance, you have to go to Norway first. But if you wanted to cross country, this is the thing. If you wanted to cross country and you wanted to, like, okay, when I wanted to start in France, but I wanted to cross as well Italy. So the thing is, you have to spend more time on the country wherein you requested visa. Like, take for example, if you wanted to go to France and you wanted to go to Italy, but you applied for France, you have to go for France for, like, let's say 7 days, and probably Italy for 3 days.
Yeah.
So it should be like
The main
main country should have more days of
Yes.
you spent with than on the second country or in the
But
third
the succeeding travels you
country.
will
The
have
next travel you have
doesn't really
you can
matter.
use it anywhere. It doesn't really matter if it's in
Doesn't really matter.
France,
So it's just-
in Netherlands, in Switzerland, whatever.
Okay,
Wherever,
so
right?
this discussion of, like, the thorough discussion of how to apply Schengen visa, we'll just make a separate video of this, because this is
Separate
just
vlog.
like yeah, you can check in his vlog. Maybe you can make a
Yeah.
vlog of
I
separate
will,
how to
for
travel or how to apply
Well,
Schengen
I'll-
visa. So just check his channel. It can
It can be your adventures,
adven-
and as well as my Instagram, you have to follow my adventures in there.
Do you
Join the
place
fun
your
wagon.
name?
It can be your adventures.
It can be your-
It's so easy to remember.
It can be
Speaks
your
about
adventure.
Adventures.
So that's
and
all,
travel.
like, without space. But anyway, second tip: how to travel cheap.
Okay. There's a lot of-
How about things that you wouldn't need to bring?
Well, the things that
Will
you
we travel travel
always
light?
travel light.
Right,
You know, only
backpack.
one bag. Yeah, only one bag. You don't need to, like, pack a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna spend for like 4 days
Now,
on a travel.
if you are from the UK, I don't know from other countries, but if you are from the UK, you have the main carrier. It's either Ryanair, EasyJet, but there are others as
there
well.
are
like,
other,
isn't it?
yeah, there
Flybe?
are Flybe,
Yeah.
there's Boiling Air.
Main
there's
point
Pegasus,
here
there's
is
a lot.
main point here is each carrier has their own policy, but recently Ryanair has changed
Like one bag lang.
their policy. So before they allow us to bring 2 bags
Mhm.
without a fee, but now it's just strictly one bag. Same with the EasyJet. So if you want to travel, you have to pack everything in one bag. No, what do you call that?
Sling bags or anything.
Sling bags or
Or
small
no
bags.
trolley bags.
No.
I
Or else-
do away from having trolley bags because most of the airline companies here in the Europe, they don't accept it as like hand carry. Bags.
Yeah.
With the trolley bags, you know, with the wheels and everything.
Why is it
It's not like
considered
backpack.
as a tip for cheap traveling? Because some of these airlines charge you for another, like, say, couple of
25
pounds, 25 pounds,
25
just
pounds,
because
yeah.
you're traveling with a small trolley.
trolley.
So before they were not charging that one, but now they
do.
are charging. So just to
Sadly.
avoid with these unnecessary charges, just travel light. Like, if it's summer, it's just easier because you can just mix match all your clothes. Don't bring too much liquids if possible.
Just the main one, you know,
just the
one
main
perfume, deodorant,
Because when
one toothpaste.
yeah, when you
and
go to
that's
exactly, when you go to the airport, you are just allowed to just
You
have
have to
like
be cowboy when
loot
you
bag,
travel light.
one loot bag of 50 meals, or a total of how much?
No, not more than 100 meals.
Not more than 100 meals or 100.
per.
No, yeah, just 100 meals per bottle. And how many bottles you can carry? Like 10. So
Four maybe.
yeah, so
five.
it's just few like liquids you can bring.
Yeah.
So don't bring too much. If you really need them, you can buy them in the country anyway. But you can I don't know if you can bring them back. But anyway, just travel light. Bring the clothes that you need. If you want to do the OOTD, outfit of the day,
Yes.
well, it's up to you how to pack them up because
Just only bring like one pair.
Yeah,
In case
mix
if
and
you wanted,
match.
if you're going for a place where you wanted to go to the beach,
That's
just
true.
bring like really light material clothes, like, you know, one.
or
shirt,
even like
maybe,
say if it's winter,
One
it doesn't
short,
matter if what color inside because you're always covered up with your jacket
So-
or with your coat, so it's just easy. So just do travel light. So that's number 2 tip to travel light, to how to travel cheap. What's number 3? How
Okay,
about
number three, about accommodation.
accommodation?
Okay, accommodation. There are a lot of ways for you to like travel cheap.
Okay.
So most of the time, you know, a lot of questions I receive as well from good friends and from relatives. Oh, how do you travel? You know, how much does the
Yeah.
hotel cost? So
Are you
to be
you
honest,
staying in a
yeah,
hotel?
to be honest, in my 48 countries, I've never been to a hotel.
No.
I
haven't
always
stayed
been
a
always
hotel.
in Airbnb house. You know, Airbnb. We book-
Airbnb is a very
It's the
very
most convenient of
helpful application, or what do you
Yeah.
call that? It's
It's
application.
a dispensable tool that you can have.
Yeah,
wherein you can
there's a
just
lot of offers.
one swipe, depends on your choice, what you wanted, like a whole flat, a room share, or whatever. It depends on your choice and depends on your budget as well, and depends on the location. So
That's
it's up to your choice.
Airbnb,
Airbnb.
couch surfing
Couchsurfing is a second platform wherein you can stay on a stranger's house,
for free.
yeah, for free.
But of course, you'll
But
have
of
an
course,
agreement
it's not
both of
just
you
all
guys.
about free accommodation.
No.
It's also about the
About-
spirit of
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 getting
traveling, of
one from
exchanging
yeah.
cultures and what, and that's where I gain so much friends.
And
So I can
maybe-
make
yeah.
I can make a vlog out of that because that's a
Yeah.
really broad topic to discuss. Because
And-
most of my good friends, if you will follow me on Instagram, you will know that most of my foreign friends there I
Yeah.
get to know from couch.
And of course, you can get hostels, cheap hostels.
as well.
You can get a lot of accommodation, cheap accommodation. So be sure that your accommodation is also not too far from the city center or from the location that you would want to go.
Or one more thing as well. One tip is be friendly because if
Yeah.
you're so friendly, if you know
Sometimes they
someone
give
from
you
that country,
discounts.
yeah,
Or-
they
or
can, or they can host you once you
Yes.
go back to that country.
So
and
make
they will
friends.
give you some surprises trips that you would
Yes.
never would have imagined you can experience.
That's true.
And there's a lot of experience.
So another tip, how to travel cheap. How about food? Do we eat on a fancy restaurant?
No. No, probably the best one is to really like research on what is the local delicacy of
Yeah.
a certain place or the
Experience the
city.
food in one
Experience the
country.
Food is the best way for you to experience a country as well. There's a lot, and you always have to be adventurous with your palate. You
Yeah.
don't have to like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. If you are in a new country, it's best for you to like really experience everything. There might be good or bad food, but overall, you have to.
But it doesn't have to be very expensive
Yeah,
or
it hasn't to
very
be
posh.
very expensive,
You have to remember those who are like original recipes or the what do you call that?
Like local delicacy,
The
like
local
the-
delicacies are always served in a local or from a local shop or from not a fancy restaurant,
And
not
do
a commercial
away,
one.
yeah, and do away from eating at the main square or like on a most touristic place.
Or the piazza.
Just do away. Just go out from the main square.
Yes, go from the small shops.
Let's say like a few meters of radius from the main square,
Yes.
you will find authentic restaurants there that are cheap and not
And we
pricey.
would like to share one secret. We usually say for breakfast. We usually like say if you from on an Airbnb accommodation, we
Let me show
usually
them what we
cook.
cook today. Yeah.
We usually cook our meal from night and then
Yes,
at the same time our breakfast. we just
do
cook
groceries
spaghetti.
when you're on travel.
Yeah, because it's
Best.
usually and then just eat on a fancy restaurant or if you want to really eat in a fancy restaurant once a day.
The once a day, but the rest
Not
of the
really
days,
like
cook.
three times a day now.
Cook, because you
Cook
always
or
have a kitchen,
bring some
you know.
sandwiches or if you really like
Pack
to
food.
taste like the gelatos, the sandwiches you can have and then share it with friends. It's really easy for you to save up if you have someone to share it with or if you're just traveling alone, just have this light meal and then have these finger foods and then explore because sometimes your time is what do you call it consumed by just sitting around in a fancy restaurant. So maybe bring this finger food and then explore the country. Yeah,
Exactly. Correct.
So any other tip
Any other tip
before we end?
Okay, so any other tip? Tip number one. So if you
Remember, this is
I think-
already like
how many?
next
Three.
tip.
Okay, so if you want to like hit more countries like in one go, make sure that you have to have a map in your room and you always be strategic with your planning. So
Yeah.
like take for example,
Plan
if you
out.
go, like take for example if you wanted to go from London to Czech Republic and you wanted to like go to Prague, just check for like neighboring countries wherein you can cross via bus, via train, because
Yes.
inter-country generally
It's really easy here in the UK.
inter-country intercrossing in Europe is very cheap.
It's either
Generally,
by train
either by train, by car,
or even like they have
It's
cheap
very
flights.
cheap.
Cheap
Yeah.
flights. Like say if you go from Spain and then you want to cross to Portugal,
You can do
it's
that
easy.
as well.
Or from Austria
Czech Republic,
to
like
Germany,
Central Europe
it's
is the
easy.
best.
Yeah.
Like, take for example, Czech Republic, you can cross to Austria, or you can cross to Slovakia, you can cross to Hungary,
What we usually do,
Slovenia,
we-
all these countries you
yeah,
can cross.
as I've mentioned a while ago, we don't usually go to the mainstream. We still go, but we don't usually dwell on the mainstream like places or cities. We go near to the borders because
Actually, I
it's
wanted to be
easy
challenged this time.
It's easy to cross.
Actually, I wanted to be challenged this time because the last, let's say, 10 countries I've been are really challenging. Because the last time I I was like for 4 days out of London, and then we crossed 3 countries in 4 days. We flew from London to Bulgaria, crossed Bulgaria to Macedonia, Macedonia from Lake Orin, and then just walked towards Albania, and then had
It was
lunch in
just
Albania, and then crossed back to Macedonia. So in just like 4 days, I've been to like 3 countries, and most of those countries don't speak any English.
And maybe you can just share them to your
Yeah. Anyway,
there's a lot
yeah.
of stories.
There's a lot of stories on my recent travels on my
Yeah,
YouTube
exactly.
channel. So hopefully you
Visit
can
his
subscribe.
channel.
Yeah, and I will also make new vlogs about my trip to South America. I've never produced all of them. So exciting! Loads of tips,
Yeah.
as well as some vlogs about all of this stuff that you really wanted to know. How I traveled 48 countries in the last 4 years.
But anyway, thank you very much for
Thank you so
watching.
much.
These are just some of our tips. We cannot really just contain them in one just
I know,
30
right?
minutes
There's a
video,
lot.
but there's a lot. So check his channel again.
Thank you
It
so
can
much.
be
Yeah,
your
I need
adventure.
subscribers.
No, it can be
Anyway,
he makes good content anyway. And
I
for
put my
me
heart
as
into
well,
them.
yeah, thank you for all the new subscribers and to those subscribers who are
subscribe,
watching us right now. Thank you very much. But anyway, thank you for watching the video and see you in the next
Adventure.
Bye.
Bye. Huwag talaga